Hello everyone. So welcoming you in the new video Python revision tour. Till the last session we have covered the types of loops, and today's session we are going to start with the nested loop. So nested for loop is actually mainly used to display the pattern. Pattern programming actually we can do with the help of nested for loop. So here the nested is a term which is very common. It is one inside another. One inside another. So here one loop inside another loop is considered as nested loop, and this nested loop is a part of for loop. So you can see we have one for here, one here, and this is considered as outer for, and this is the inner for. So well, how the things will work? The outer for the individual value will work for the complete inner loop. So it is like, if you will take the values of I and j, like I is going to work this value, you know very well, because we are already done with the syntax of for loop, right? If the step value is not given, that means one is the step value, and here also no step value is given, so it will work one as a step value. The default step value is 1. Now the point is this value is excluded, the end value is excluded, so it will always work till 1 less than the end value. So I loop will work for 1 and 2, right? And j loop, here we can check it is starting from 1 to 10 because 11 is excluded. So I for I equals to 1, this j will work 10 times. Okay, so I is equal to 1 and j is equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So now you please check k is equal to I into j. So k is equal to value of I is 1 into 1 is equal to 1. So it is displaying 1. Now you can see print and k value is 1 only, it will display 1, and is equal to space. So if you don't want to move the cursor to the next line, so if you want to keep it in the same line with some space, then you can write and is equal to space. Okay, so one space will come, and now next time again j value now increase by 1, so this will become 2. So how it will work? K value is now k is equal to 1 into 2, it will be 2. So like that only, then 1 into 3, then 1 into 4, 1 into 5 6 7 8 9 10. So last value of j is 10 only, it will work till here, and then println will move the cursor to the next line. Now the cursor will start blinking here, and it will go to the outer loop again. So this I will increase by 1 now, so this will become 2, and j again will work for 1 2 3 and then 4 5 and then 6 7 8 9 and 10. Okay, now the k value you check, k is equal to, so it is I into j, I value is 2, 2 into 1 is equal to 2 2. Okay, and equals to space is going to keep a space, and then 2 into 2 is equal to 4, then 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Like that only it is going to work till the and till 20. Okay, so it will display the output something like this, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. After that it will switch to the print statement, and print will take the compiler to the next line and will start displaying the values from the next line. Okay, so moving to the next slide, we have the jump statements now. So how the jump statements will work? Jump statements are used to transfer the program's control from one location to another. So jump statement are used to transfer, it will transfer the program control from one location to another. Actually the jump statement, the working is the same only. Now it will jump from one location, one part of a program to other part. So you only can decide like what all statements you want to execute and what all statements you want to skip. As per the requirement, you can do all those stuff with the help of jump statements. So in total we have three types of jump statements. We have the break statement, we have the continue, and we have the pass. Okay, so break and continue, normally we are using break and continue only. So starting with break statement, so break statement will break the continuation of the loop or the iteration of the loop. So how the things will work, you please check. I have taken a sequence here, and the sequence which I have taken this time is a string. You know very well string list, these all are the sequence. So here it is a string, the name is written here. So for j in mega, so this is a string. Now this is the syntax for traversal, traverse. So actually with the help of this statement you will be able to traverse all the elements of the string. So j in mega, now j is equal to e. The point is the condition is working for j equals to e. If j is equal to e, then break is written. Otherwise, you can see we have print here. Print, we are displaying the value of j. So print j is parallel to if. That means it is not a part of if, right? It is outside if. So please check the first value of j is m. J is equal to m. J is equal to m. M is equal to e. No. So it will display the value of j, right? It will display the value of j. So here the j value is m. M will be displayed. Then next time we have e. So then again it will be checked with the condition e is equal to e. Yeah, these two are true only. So break will take you out from the loop. So it will come out here. And then you have what? Print statement one more and done. So it will display m and done and exclamation mark. So this is the output. I hope you are clear with this. So moving to the next use of the continue statement. So how this continue will work? It is used to skip all the remaining statements in the loop and move controls back to the header of the loop. So the control will back to the header of the loop. Header is the first line of the loop. This is called the header. Okay, this is the header of the loop. Now you please check again, the example is with respect to string sequence only. So this is also for the traversal of the string characters one by one. This time the variable name is val. So val is there, then val, first value of val is m. So val is equal to m. The condition is with respect to a. So this condition is false only. It will go to the display statement and will display m. Then we have again upside and it will display e because e is equal to a. No. Then e will be displayed. Then g is equal to a. No. Then g will be displayed. These all are characters only. Then h is equal to a. No. Then h will be displayed. Then a is equal to a. Yes, a is equal to a. So it will be continued. It means it will be continued for the next iteration. But here too we don't have any other character. So well, this is done only and you will be outside the loop. And here one more done statement is there. So this will be displayed. So I think I hope you are clear with continue also. It will skip the remaining statements, right? Whenever the continue statement will evaluate first, it will skip the remaining statements. Okay, now we will move to the next statement, which is pass. So what is this pass? This statement does nothing. So this statement does nothing. So as such, there is no working of this pass statement. It can be used when, as per the syntax, the statement is required to be executed, but as such you don't want to take any action with the help of it. So well, we just want to pass our working from one place to other place. We don't want to execute as such anything. So here you can see the syntax. We have the while keyword and then true. If this is true, then the pass will just pass the compiler from this place to the next place. So you please check. We have def is a keyword to define a function. So here actually we are defining a user defined function and the name of a user defined function is fun. So we are going to take in detail the user defined functions also in the next chapter. After this revision to a Python revision 2 or 2, we have the user defined function only, and then you can use the pass and it will just error message will be shown if you don't use the pass here, because if you are starting with something, then some body should be there, some of the statement should be there for the execution. And then you check, we have print mega. So output is here mega only, because when it will go to this one function, nothing is there, so that will be passed from this function to this statement and it will display mega. Okay, so we can just try to understand it with respect to one more example. And here with respect to a condition, I am trying to explain you the use of this pass. So please check again, we have a string here which is initial. Okay, initial is the name of the string. You please check, if I is equal to I, then it will be passed. So nothing is going to work, right? Nothing is going to work. And then you please check, next is n. N is equal to I. N is equal to I. No. So then will be displayed. Then again I is there, so this will be passed. And then T, then I is there, then this will be passed. Then A and then L. So this L is small only. Continue. See, now please don't get confused in between continue and the pass statement. Pass statement is not doing anything. Okay, continue will start repeating the execution for the next iteration. So continue forces the loop to start at the next iteration, while pass means there is no code to execute here and will continue through the remainder of the loop body. So it is going to continue with the remaining part of the loop body. From that particular block you will be passed. Suppose you have one print statement here, print here. Suppose done is written here. So in case of pass, na, this done will be displayed, right? It will be passed from this block, but what all the remaining statements are there for this for loop body, that will be executed. So pass will allow you to, not you, allow the compiler to execute this statement and will display done. But if you have a continue here, so from here the compiler will move to the header of the loop body. So this is the main difference in between these two. So I hope you are clear with this. What we covered in today's class, we actually have started from the nested loop. Okay, nested for loop we have covered, like how the things are working in case of nested loop, how the outer loop is going to, you know, again start the inner loop completely. So we have covered, we have taken one small pattern also just to understand it properly. Then we started with the jump statement. We covered like jump statement is used to jump from one location, one part of a program to other part of a program, which is also called the location, from one location of a program to other location of a program. There are three types of jump statements. We have break, continue, and pass. So break statement is used to break the thing. Okay, it will break it, and it will break means it will take you out from the loop body. Then continue will skip the remaining part of the body and will start executing it for the next iteration. And when you will go for the pass, what the pass will do, it will actually pass it from that particular block, and the rest of the thing will work normally. Okay, so you have to take a proper the thing should be clear to you with respect to continue and pass. Okay, how these two things are different from each other. So that's all about today's class. I hope you are clear with the these all concepts, because this is very, very important to understand the basic of the programming. So please check it with more examples from your book. Okay, so that's all for today's class. And if you like the video, if you understood everything, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and to share with your friends. Thank you. Bye.